This game features the Steamroller 2015 Fire Support scenario. Fire Support scenario features Kill Box. You can dominate the friendly flag for 1 control point. You can control the enemy flag for 1 control point, or dominate the enemy flag for 2 control points. The enemy objective is destroyed or removed from play, as also worth 1 control point. The first player to earn at least 5 control points wins the game.
Hey everybody, this is Gaston, and I am back with another bacon-powered battle report. Today we're taking Midas, but not in his theme force, we're actually taking him in Thornfall Alliance. The reason why we're doing this is a list we like to call the New 52, and the reason why we call that is there is 50 infantry in the list. So that's a lot of models, and getting the advanced deploy and the extra field allowance from the Alliance rather than from the theme force is where we're going for that advantage. Additionally, we're taking Stockpile to stand up some knockdown models.
For it here today, I was asked to play Nemo, so I chose Mk2, as I've never played him before. Got a Stormwall, a Dynamo, and a CEnturion as part of the battle group, plus Wyshnalyrr. Got 3 STormsmith Stormcallers because he has a elite cadre with them, Aiyana and Holt, Black 13th, a Journeyman, and a Strangeways. Arcane Wonder is my objective. Hopefully they'll do something with all these pigs attacking it.
One of the things that's really fun about this theme force is that other than all the advanced deploy models, I only actually have 5 guys to set up. Usually I go with the Roadhog Central and then the Razor Boars on the side.
I'm going to put this Stormwall to the right of this fence so that he can walk on turn 1. If I didn't have him where he could clear the fence and walk and drop his covering fire in his pods, I would have to run. The fence is just a bad problem for me. Black 13th and a STormsmith Stormcaller are going to go get on this hill to my far right to use it as a defensive position and just to kill everything up above that woods in the center of the map. Aiyana and Holt are going to hide behind the fence along with Nemo and a Stormcaller and Strangeways. And then the Dynamo and the CEnturion are going to go to my far left to guard my flag. I'm going to put another Stormsmith on my far left to give me good triangulations.
The advanced deploy is where you tend to spend more of your time. Here, what we're going to try to do is we're going to have the 2 units of Brigands up front. They're going to begin the game dug in, and they're going to be advancing, and they're going to be kind of our meat shield for all the Slaughterhousers behind them. The Slaughterhousers are more the high-value infantry. They're the ones we kind of want to protect. And the Brigands are just there. Mostly they spend every game dying because they're Brigands. They're pretty terrible. Up at the top, we're deploying 2 units of Bone Grinders, and then the obligatory 3rd unit in the back to put Craft Talisman on Midas. And the idea behind those Bone Grinders is the little micro sniper teams. And he has the Black 13th up there, and he has a Stormsmith Stormcaller. And the Bone Grinders become Rat 9 with their little Arcane Bolt. And the idea is to have them hopefully be able to move up, zap a couple of those guys out of the way, and handle that. Otherwise, the Slaughterhousers pretty much just fill in behind the Brigands. And we try to leave a nice little gap in the middle for the Roadhog and for Midas to come up. Definitely going to be gunning for that wall there for him to hide behind. So I had actually won the roll and elected to go first, because that's one less turn that I'm getting shot at. And traditionally when I see Nemo across the table, I think that he's this big infantry clearing warcaster. That's kind of the stereotype that I go with. And that makes me particularly nervous when I'm running all the single wound infantry. Then you add in things like the Stormsmith Stormcallers, who they get up and eat infantry for breakfast, along with Cheerios and orange juice and infantry. This balanced diet. So definitely a little bit worried, and then you have all that being backed up by all this armor that I got to be able to crack through. So I think my main focus here is going to be going for the scenario win on his side of the table rather than trying to dominate my own. And that also, you have that Stormwall over there on my side, so I want to keep Midas kind of safe. So the 2 Brigands are moving up, and they're just digging in. Nothing too special or aggressive there. The Bone Grinders are also running up. They're spreading out, so that way those AoEs don't really kill me if he drifts one over on turn 1. Then the Slaughterhousers are just filling in. This list it can be aggressive out the gate if you decide to run the Brigands rather than advance and dig in. But if you are going for that dig in thing, then you end up with a lot of backpiling, and you're going to have to actually do a lot of your unpacking on turn 2 and turn 3, rather than a lot of traditional armies where you're actually doing your unpacking on turn 1. I'm also trying to take the Razor Boars up there on that flank, again, to have them go after maybe the Black 13th or something like that. Otherwise, to have some models there with some wounds in order to hold down that flag.
Well, my opponent did pretty much what I expected him to do. Ran the whole pigs forward. Got a whole bunch of bacon coming towards me. I'm going to give a focus out to the CEnturion so he can run up there. I'll move up behind him to support with the Stormsmith. Got the Stormsmith on the other side with the Black 13th. I'm going to put all that on the hill. First, I'm going to move the Stormwall up and drop a couple of covering fire templates and a Storm Pod. Storm Pod is to give Ryan from the Black 13th something to target so that I don't have to worry about a drift making a big gap in my lines of my covering fire. After he's done, move the Black 13th up, and the Stormsmith's in the middle of them all. And Ryan's going to drop that now, blowing up the Storm Pod, but giving me a pretty good coverage. It's going to force him to run around or move up to and stop at that line of covering fire. And that's all I'm really trying to do. I don't want his pigs to engage me. His shooting guys can still shoot at me, but they're shooting at guys on the hill, so you're looking at defense 17. Or they're shooting at a Stormwall, sorry. Strangeways gives Dynamo a focus, and Dynamo runs up. Really out of range to be able to shoot anything, so I just ran him. Then I'm going to move the Journeyman up behind the wall and put a Arcane shield on the CEnturion, making his armor ridiculous. Nemo's going to go up, and I'm going to drop a couple upkeeps. I'll put a Polarity Shield on the Stormwall and Lightning Shroud on the Dynamo, and then camp on the rest. My upkeeps are kind of not as good. This is a bad matchup for Nemo, even though I've got a lot of shooting and a lot of killing power, especially with the 3 Stormsmiths and the Elite Cadre. I just have a tough time keeping my upkeeps up on my beast because of Hex Blast.
For the most part, turn 2 is just going to be another positioning turn for me. We're going to start with the Bone Grinders, kind of going with plan A with them. They're moving up. They're going to try to zap out, I believe that's Ryan, is the one who makes the 4-inch AoE. We definitely don't like her. Unfortunately, there's a couple things that go against me here. The first one is that she's on a hill. She's already defense 15, so now she's defense 17. And then I misplaced a little bit, so I don't have all of the Bone Grinders together. They just weren't fast enough to get up there, so they're only Rat 8 instead of Rat 9. So unfortunately they both miss her, but what can you do? They're only 2 points. Otherwise, the Brigands are continuing with their grand plan of Farrow Call Advance Dig In, also known as what they will most likely do for the vast majority of the rest of the game. Then the second unit Brigands, I was toying with advancing and digging in, and retrospectively that might have probably kept more of them alive this following turn, but I decided to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more jammy, so they're just doing Heroic Call and running. And then eventually here we're going to have Midas come up, and he is going to Battle Lust them, because 1, I had to spend the Fury anyway, so might as well. And 2, if they do, it lasts for a round, and if they do end up free striking anything for fun and profit, then at least now they'll be Weapon Masters. So with the Brigands all jamming everything up, we're running the Slaughterhousers in behind them, trying to tow some woods when it's convenient and applicable. There's a Battle Lust going up. And then Midas has to scoot over in order to be behind the wall still, but not killboxing himself. Otherwise, the Roadhog is running in. More Slaughterhousers backfilling. And even more Slaughterhousers backfilling. It's not a whole lot of depth to this list in the first couple turns.
As I look at this avalanche of pigs coming my way, I can't help but being a little concerned. I don't think I have enough, even with all the tricks and abilities that Nemo brings to the table, to kill enough of them before they just overwhelm me with their sheer numbers. The Black 13th and the Stormwall may be able to do enough over on their side of the table, but I'm starting to wonder if the Centurion and the Dynamo are going to be able to hold up against the hitting power of the buffs that MIdas brings to the table, the Hex Blast taking off my defensive tag, and the finisher abilities from the Slaughterhousers. I just think that might be a little too much for the Centurion to handle. He's not going to have the massive 24 armor with the Journeyman's Arcane Shield on him, because MIdas can just walk up and Hex Blast it off of him. If I can clear those three guys that are in front of my jacks up, I can get up on that flag there with the Centurion and back him up with the Dynamo and maybe make it a little difficult for my opponent. I'll probably be throwing the Centurion away, but the Dynamo with Nemo's Lightning Tendril spell, I can't remember, the one that gives him +2 strength and Lightning Leap, should be able to clear enough pigs out with 4 attacks, 5 attacks that it makes it difficult for my opponent to continue. Okay, so I did feed, did spread the focus out, took 1 back from the Stormwall. He's not going to need it all. I'm going to leave the rest on both my other 2 beasts for boosting, and Polarity Shield, hopefully, on the Centurion, and see what happens. I'm trying to decide now what to activate next and what order to go. I believe that it's going to have to be the Stormwall, just to clear up, for me to get an idea what I'm looking at. Instead of doing the D3 times 2 shots, I'm going to keep putting these coloring templates out. It keeps his guys away from my Black 13th and from running around that forest and flanking and coming into my other side. I'll shoot a couple of dudes, put the Storm Pod out so that I can have a nice triangulation. Maybe get a couple of guys with the Storm Pod. I got 2 more of the Brigands in the Storm Pod, and the Elite Cadre with Nemo and the Stormsmith Stormcallers is really nice. It gives them a 9 magical ability to 9 or less, and they get to do the attacks, and then it brings their power from 10 to 12, and that's a big deal. I'm not a big fan of the Stormsmith Stormcallers. I haven't really played them very much. This is my first time to really play Nemo in any kind of thing in a game, other than just playing around trying to theorycraft with them. I'm relatively new to Cygnar as well, so cut me a little bit of slack when you guys start hammering me. The Black 13th is going to go now. They're going to deal some dirt. I'm going to try to cover up. I'm going to try to kill the far flanking Bone Grinders enough to maybe make them take a check and maybe break. Their morale is fairly fragile. I wish one of these Black 13th, besides Ryan, had 2 shots. That would be really cool. But I need the cloud. I need the 4-inch AoE cloud to help me out here. It gets more guys than it would if I just shot twice anyway. And the effect of them not being able to move through it is huge. Or see through it even. Yeah, Black 13th, they've got their points back. Now I just need to get my Stormwall's points back. Stormsmith's going to come up and try to whack 3 more dudes. He raised to kill 3 they rate to kill 8 or 9 of them every time they activate. Get his 3. The next one's going to try to match him. We're just going to keep whittling away at the Brigands until that flank is no longer a ranged threat. He got his 3. the three previous from the previous Stormcaller only got one. The other two made tough checks, but the second guy took care of the two that were that were on the ground toughed. Now the third one's going to come up, and he's going to try to clear the two that are off the Centurion, and then just one more of the Bone Grinders from the other unit out, or no, I mean Brigands. Got him, and I failed my check on the other one, rolling an 11. So we got 2 of the 3 that we were trying, but that Brigand doesn't have reach, so it's essentially freed up the Centurion from free strikes. Now here I try to charge with the Centurion, thinking I can charge and put a polarity shield up, but I didn't realize that it was a star action, so I have to back it up and just go to the flag and put up a polarity shield. I really don't want those Slaughterhousers charging anything in my army that I don't have to let them get a charge. And I make a mistake here and I kill the one guy that I'm engaging. If I just left him alive, Gaston would have had to do something with. Oh, I actually didn't kill him. I just now I killed him. And now it frees Gaston, frees Midas up to be able to just walk up or even sit where he is with Craft Talisman and knock Arcane Shield off of my guy, making him much more vulnerable to his pig's retaliation. Oh well. Now the Dynamo is going to move up, and I'm going to try to figure out what to do with him. I'm not sure. I'm just going to kill pigs on the flank. Try to keep them from enveloping me. I didn't boost any of the hit rolls. I didn't really need to because of the reroll, but I should have just been boosting just anyway because I didn't need to boost the damage rolls. The same thing with the Stormwall. I left 2 focus on the Stormwall and missed 2 of his big gunshots because I didn't boost to hit. I'm just not used to having this much focus on the table, and I didn't allocate any focus at the beginning of the turn, so my head was not thinking that, oh, I've got focus on my guys. Nemo's ability to allocate focus during the turn and combined with his feet and with Arlan Strangeways giving free focus out that Nemo could actually pull back is a big deal.
So in some ways that wasn't as bad as I had feared. I was a little bit concerned that he was going to be able to clear a path and then just launch the Centurion straight at the Roadhog, and then I was going to have a Centurion in my face, a Dynamo behind him, and going to have to deal with both of them. As it is now, my big thing is I can't charge the Centurion, which is rather annoying. So here I'm just making sure, measuring my control area, that the Roadhog is within 7.5 inches. So without charging, we're still going to try to take him out anyway. He has Polarity Field and Arcane Shield up from Junior, I believe. So we're going to need to use some Hex Blast action to get rid of that. So now it becomes an order of operations, because I do have these Slaughterhousers in the way, and I'd really like to be able to weapon lock the shield to get his armor down, so that way I'm not charging in, so I can do a little bit more damage without that stupid shield, without him being armor 21. So we got them coming in. They're going to go ahead craft Talisman on Midas. Just checking line of sight. I don't want to have to move if I don't have to. But I will not get to curse, which is sad. So Midas is spending 3 for Hex Blast. He'll hit, knock it off, do no damage. Spend another 3 to put Battle Lust on the unit of Slaughterhousers. So ultimately what I decided to do was just go with them first. They're just going to walk on in and smack it, and then we're going to bring the Roadhog in. That unit of Brigands is going to go Heroic Call. They are charging. Kill one of the STormsmith Stormcallers. And that's it. The other one ran. So now we're activating the Slaughterhousers. They're just walking, because obviously they can't charge him. We're just being a little bit careful to make sure that I don't block myself off from half an inch with the Roadhog there. Then I had a couple stragglers in the unit from poor deployment, so they just advanced in that nice little line of Slaughterhousers behind those woods. And they're just going to start swinging. Fortunately with Battle Lust, they now count as Weapon Masters, and with Finisher they'll be rolling 4 dice eventually here. which is pretty awesome for damage. And they do a reasonable job. I believe with the last swing they actually took out a shield. So then the Roadhog hurts himself, he's going full bore. He's putting a little scorn move where he can't face forward. Then he's just going to start smacking. He's still at POW 14 on armor 19, so it's dice minus 5. So he's going to go ahead and start just boosting the damage rolls. So hits with his initial, hits with the second, and buys an attack. So at this point, I believe the Centurion was down to maybe 5 health, somewhere in that ballpark. He was hurt pretty badly. So now we're activating that unit Slaughterhousers, and they are reaching over the objective, reaching around the Roadhog, and trying to get on in. So unfortunately, oh, maybe they both got in. So they don't have Battle Lust, but they do exactly what they need to kill him off. So one Warjack down. Over there, the one unit of Bone Grinders fails to rally from when they fled. The other units going in, they're attempting to bazap again. Here, I probably should have targeted that STormsmith Stormcaller rather than the Black 13th still. It would have given me better odds to hit, and those Stormcallers are wrecking havoc on my infantry. The Brigands actually chanted for March to get some Pathfinder. They're going to run on in and basically just attempt to clog up the Stormwall, clog up his solos over there, and make a general nuisance of themselves. Their unit of Slaughterhousers got their own charge order, and they're just knocking out that Storm Pod. Otherwise, I'm moving my little wee piggies back, so that way I can get them back in control. They ended up not accomplishing over there what I really wanted them to accomplish. There's just too far from them and Midas. So just pulling him back to Daddy now. And riling him so I can get some fury.
Well, I lost the Centurion like I was fairly certain that I would. My plan this turn is to put Lightning Shroud up on the Dynamo, move him in, kill that beast, Lightning Leap 4 or 5 times to all the pigs around there, and try to kill as much as I can. Then after that, Arcane Shield him with the Journeyman to make him survivable. Hopefully there'll be at least 1 pig left alive to keep me in melee so that Midas can't just pop a spell off. And plus I'll be in cover, so we'll see. Strangeways moves up, staying just out of reach to try to spray those 2 guys off of my Stormwall. With his 5 rad, he's not likely to hit, and he doesn't. So something else has got to try. I guess Holt will try. Wyshnalyrr has nothing else to do. He's going to walk up and poke that pig. Can't charge because the wall's in the way, but we'll walk. He's got reach. Needs a high number. I rolled an 11 to hit and 12 for damage, so that pig's in trouble. Yeah. Now, I guess Aiyana will... I probably should move Aiyana and drop the armor on that pig, his pig beast, but Dynamo with Lightning Shot should be able to handle him. So she's going to get stealth, and Holt's going to stand still and shoot that pig in front. Of course, he misses twice, and hits my Stormwall, and does 3 damage to the Stormwall. So that wasn't working out very well. I guess I'll activate the Stormwall next. he'll just he'll use the lightning pod to try to burn the pig that's in melee with him there. And then I'll STormsmith Stormcaller as much as I can out of the way, so I do burn that pig down. Now a couple of covering fire templates and 2 gunshots. I guess we'll shoot the little pig dudes, pig beasts. I miss them. Missed both shots. I don't think I've hit a single thing with those big guns yet. One of them was my fault for not boosting when I had the extra power. Black turn teeth and walk up and continue mowing down pigs. Shooting bacon should be more fun, you'd think. Bone grinder unit is gone. The other units passed his command or failed his command check. So we're doing good over here. And now we're gonna try to kill a couple more guys, but we don't roll enough damage to hurt them. The cloud's still there, and they can't stay in the cloud. Stormcaller will move up and try to burn down some more on this top bunch. The top bunch is looking a lot less scary. There's not a lot left, not a lot of damage left up there. All the slaughterhouses are either in the middle, heading toward the bottom, or already down in the bottom. And if I don't screw this up, I should be able to take out most of that clump of stuff around my flag with the Dynamo. It sucked having to bait them in with the Centurion, but I did. Oops, I just messed up. I activated the Dynamo before activating Nemo, so he's going to walk up there with his +2 armor spell instead of Lightning Shroud. Lightning Shroud would have given me +2 strength and Lightning Leap. I would have killed the Beast. The Beast was left with 3 or 4 hit points after all of this. I'd have killed this beast and at least 4 more, maybe 5 more. No, 4 more. I had 3 attacks or 3 bolt attacks plus 1 main attack. It would have been a much better chance of surviving up there with the Dynamo than he has now. Guess I'll have to rescue it with something else. I'm a little frustrated at my play right now, so I'm kind of just rolling dice. And the snake eyes on the damage roll and the 3 on the damage roll didn't help either on his beast. Well, hopefully the cover will keep me alive. Journeyman's not going to bother casting an Arcane Shield on him now because he's already got the +2 armor buff on him from Nemo. I'll just shoot a couple more guys as best I can. Nemo did his little AoE spell, Electrical Disturbance or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name. It didn't drift very far, so it got several of his guys, but the blast damage is only POW 7, so it doesn't do a whole lot. It's called Electrical Blast, is the name of the spell, amazingly enough. He's going to move over and get out of the way. What I'm thinking is he's going to kill the Dynamo, and I'm going to have to get the Stormwall over there to contest that. I'm probably going to lose the Stormwall too, but hopefully I'll kill a bunch of stuff.
The Roadhog surviving was unexpected and incredibly fortuitous for me. Very happy that played out that way. He's only there with maybe 5 health left, if even that. So it was very, very close call there. Just some bad dice on my opponent's part. So unfortunately, he's got the shield up there for failsafe, the armor bonus. And just with Dynamo being engaged, being in a wreck, I'm not really seeing a way for MIdas to Hex Blast off. So we're just going to pretty much have to kill him the old-fashioned way. Spending a couple Fury here to heal the Roadhog, casting Battle Lust on the Slaughterhousers. We're just inching the Roadhog in there a little bit, give him melee range, and he's just going to start swinging on him. And given the difference in my POW versus his armor, we're going ahead and boosting the damage again. So now Dynamo's injured a little bit. That's going to make Finisher a lot easier to trigger. The other thing is the Roadhog is base to base with that flag. So if I can finish off Dynamo and if I can finish off that objective, I can start scoring my control points. And that's going to be very important to me. So now we have some Slaughterhousers running, some Slaughterhousers charging. And they're mostly trying to not step on each other, is what's going on here. So that one right there was a failed charge. Unfortunately, he didn't have the reach in there. But now I have Battle Lust up, I have the charge up, I have got Finisher up. So it's going to be some pretty good damage rolls there. And with just a couple swings, Dynamo will go down. So that was part A of my plan. It's going to good effect. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to activate the Brigands. They're going to go hog wild. They're going to shoot the objective, try to damage it a little bit. And then one of them is actually going to charge Holt. This is also part of the idea, is to kind of start locking down a bunch of those solos that are over there to sort of turn the flank, get into his back lines. And the Brigand actually manages to hit Holt, of all things, and kill him, which was rather unexpected. And the other one does like a point of damage to the objective and then dies because Arcane Wonder does that to you. So trying to get that Slaughterhouser to stand up. He goes ahead, he charges Aiyana. And then we got another one, we're just working his way through that rough terrain there, being nice, precise with my measurements, and then just reaching over each other to get to the objective. Then we got another couple of them running. And the idea there is to kind of form a screen to prevent Stormwall from coming over and start contesting that flag. I want to keep him away from me as long as I possibly can. So unfortunately I'm not doing so good on the damage rolls here. And I lose a couple Slaughterhousers and don't manage to kill the objective, which is very sad. Fortunately I do manage to kill Aiyana, so Aiyana and Holt are both gone, hooray. It's always progress. Now just measuring my control area, move my little razor boards around. The Bone Grinders are zapping away his Storm Pod, get rid of that nonsense. Then my Slaughterhousers are going ahead and they're using the Forest to kind of hide themselves. Finally, I'm moving my Razor Boars so that they're back within Midas's control area, but I want them to be close enough to the flag. They've got a lot of wounds, they can still contest.
Well, I'm surprised I'm still around. Got a lot of trouble here, though. He's effectively killed both of my jacks that are they're trying to deal with the tide of stuff down there. It's my fault, really. Last turn I should have killed a lot more stuff with the proper order of activations. That Lightning Shroud was huge. I guess Strangeways is going to back up and try to spray a couple of those dudes. I'm trying to clear a way for my Stormclad to get over to near that bottom flag to keep myself from just losing straight out next game. He gets the two guys in the middle and misses the other guy, which is actually quite fortuitous. Now I'll be able to charge that guy with the Stormwall. Nemo's going to go. He's going to shoot a guy. Wax him. Going to give a focus to the Stormwall. Being able to allocate focus during your turn is actually pretty cool. I made a mistake there moving him away from the fight. I probably should have moved him closer, up behind Wyshnalyrr or something. I don't really think he could have gotten a whole lot of stuff on me once the Black 13th goes again. They're going to clear out a lot of stuff that could get to Nemo. Okay, here goes the Stormwall. It's going to charge that one pig there. I can't get far enough to get his beast, his heavy in my melee, and that's going to cost me. So I missed the pig, hit him with the second attack, and get him. We start asking some questions, and I forget to drop my Storm Pod here. And that would have been like the game if I didn't get the Storm Pod off. But my opponent graciously lets me do it after I activate the Journeyman, putting up Arcane Shield and shooting a guy. boosting to hit and actually knocked him down. Now I realize the Storm Pod needs to go out. My opponent lets me do it. He's a good guy. Don't tell him I said that. We'll get a couple of pigs with that. One makes his tough check. Now the Stormsmiths are going to go. They're going to get a few more pigs. I'm actually starting to change my attitude toward those STormsmith Stormcallers. They're actually very good with Nemo 3. I think I would change my list up a bit. I don't think I need Aiyana and Holt, and maybe I don't need the Journeyman. I don't know what else I would put in here yet. I definitely don't think I need the Centurion. I tend to like the Centurion quite a bit in some other lists, but I don't think this list needs it. I wanted to try to play it with 3 jacks just because of his feet and filling up some jacks and be able to pull back the focus and cast extra spells and that kind of stuff, but so far it just hasn't worked out as well as I had hoped. The Stormsmiths are doing dirt to the pigs. The smell of frying bacon wafting over the battlefield is starting to become overwhelming. I'm kind of getting hungry. I like a good BLT. Just got to find a tomato patch. We'll be good. Black 13th is continuing to advance forward, killing everything in their path. These guys are good. I guess when you give them a hill and a whole bunch of single wound, easy to hit infantry, they tend to do well.
So the good news here is that he spent a whole Stormwall to kill a single Slaughterhouser. So kind of making that little safety net there worked out very well. The bad news is that Storm Pod and the triangulation just killed me. Oh my gosh, so many guys went down to that. So now what we've got to try to do is engineer some sort of way to kill this Stormwall that is now in my face. The Roadhog magically is still alive. I think now he's down to approximately 3 health. That's the world's greatest Roadhog. So what we're going to try to do is get some bone tokens off of my own pigs. And we're going to accomplish this 2 ways. One, they're going to start taking POW 12s from that silly cloud. And 2, they're going to start attacking each other. So fortunately he does a ridiculous amount of damage on that POW 12. Knocks out my mind. So boost a hit in the back arc, no problems. Then go ahead, boost the damage. Do not manage to kill the piggy. So, but the piggy, he already took a shot earlier from somebody, I think the Black 13th. So now he goes ahead, he activates, he ends his movement, takes a POW 12, and he dies. So Midas gets a bone token. And ultimately what I'd like to do is have 9 tokens so I can do Battle Lust, Calamity, and Hex Blast. But then it dawns on me I still need to heal the Roadhog. The grinders are going ahead and they're blasting the remainder off that pig. That's how I get my second bone token. So I was hoping to get up to 9 to cast all 3 spells, and then I realized I needed to heal. So what we're going to go ahead and do instead is put Hex Blast to knock Arcane Shield off the Stormwall. We're going to put Calamity on it. And the way you kind of decide between Calamity and Battle Lust is the number of attacks. Figure Battle Lust here is going to affect 3 Slaughterhousers. But if I put Calamity, that's going to affect every single attack that the Roadhog has. It's going to affect all these Slaughterhouser attacks, and that's a lot of +2s. That just adds up a lot. So Midas converts over his bones, curses Stormwall, Hex Blasts, does no damage I don't think. Then hits it with Calamity for fun and profit. And then he's going to go ahead, he's going to pop feet. He's going to spend the Fury to heal. Get that Roadhog back up and running. And since the little piggies died this turn, they can't activate, but that's okay, they're just coming back to exist, basically. So hopefully they'll be there for next turn. Then Midas just takes his little saw and gets rid of that Storm Pod. So now we've got the Roadhog, he's walking on up. And he's just going to start swinging on Stormwall. He's only dice off 3 now, so that helps a lot. That's 6 attacks right there. And then next up we're going to get the unit of Black Slaughterhousers to charge. I actually was kind of peeking over there. I didn't even see that I had another Slaughterhouser back behind the Stormwall. So the Black Slaughterhousers are charging, and one of the things we're doing here to be nice and careful is to keep one of them using his reach to get the 3 inches, but to stay base to base with that flag. So I've got half the unit alive within 4 inches of the flag, and then one guy base to base. So they go in, now they're POW 13 Weapon Masters. They're doing some damage. Then activating the second unit of Slaughterhousers. One of them is knocked down, but the other one is just charging through the woods at the Stormwall. And the other one's just kind of running. So again, stand near the flag, because why not? And down goes Stormwall. So with Stormwall out of the way, that frees up my last unit of Slaughterhousers. One of them is going to charge the objective, and the other one I believe is charging Strangeways. They get rid of the solo, and I collect my control points.
It's looking pretty bleak. I'm running out of time. Time's pretty close actually, but I have all my models are too far away to contest this flag. He's got the objective dead, and he's getting ready to go up enough on points that I'm not going to be able to stop him. I've got to kill this war pig, and I need to kill all those guys near the base. So Stormcaller, I was probably silly here, trying to get the beast with him. I should have just killed one of the other pigs, but no, I didn't do any damage. Now, I guess the Black 13th is going to move in. Now, first I'll do the Journeyman. The Journeyman can boost a hit and boost damage on that pig. You may get him with a good shot. I actually hit him, and then it's a POW 12 on armor 19 or something. It's a high armor. He does a little bit of damage, and then I'll cast my spell. I probably should have boosted the damage now that I look at it instead of just casting the spell. Black 13 is going to come in. I'm going to drop the AoE on the big pig and then shoot some other little pigs around. So he's getting the cover from the base. I can ignore the concealment. I can't ignore the cover from the huge base. And he's close enough that he gets it. So it's going to be a little, not too difficult. I think I need a 6, maybe a 7 to hit him. It's not that bad. Here it goes. I miss. Deviates only 1 inch though, so that's good. I need a huge number to hurt him. And I did get it. Boxcars, which takes him out. The 3 doesn't hurt the other pig, but the 10 kills the other one or makes him take a tough check, and he passes the tough check. That helped a little bit. I wish that he hadn't passed that tough check. The other Black 13th, I guess, will just shoot the pig, contesting the other flag. I probably should have shot the guy in the forest by the huge base to give myself, to get rid of more stuff that's around the bottom flag, which is going to be the issue for me. Nemo charges, going to boost to hit and damage with a single attack. He's got that ability. 7 and 6, 7. It hits a 12, so it gets him. Slowly whittle him down. I guess I'll do my electrical blast. It's something. That guy right there, he's going to get the cover, so I'll boost the hit. Got him, POW 13 and POW 7, so killed one and didn't hurt the other. That's it.
So at this point, the table's getting kind of thin. I take the Bone Grinder, he charges in. I'm not really expecting him to hit anybody. He needs, I think, like a 10 to hit. But just to keep one of the Black 13th locked up. The other unit of Bone Grinders coming up, they're putting Lightning Strike on Midas. And activating that unit of the last remaining Slaughterhouser there. He's trying to tie up 3 guys. Use that powerful charge to get Mat 8, needing a 7 to hit. Unfortunately, he misses as well. The other unit of Slaughterhousers is receiving, I believe, the run charge order. One of them to run out, and the other one, I guess, to not make it into combat. Another one is advancing, the last one of the 3rd unit. He misses the Stormsmith Caller though. So Midas just goes, he curses him, and with Lightning Strike up, he's just going to go ahead and kill him. I mispositioned here. I wanted Midas to basically be where that Slaughterhouser is, so that way he could be base to base with the flag but still benefit from the cover. So I took kind of an abortive swing on that Slaughterhouser to kill him. I missed, and then I realized I was being kind of stupid. So that I just Lightning Struck Midas back base to base with the flag, but unfortunately he's not gaining that cover.
This is my last turn. I don't have enough time to do anything else, so I'm just going to try to kill as much as I can, see what I can get done. The Black 13th and the STormsmith Stormcallers have been very, very good this game. I might actually take a look at playing a more serious Nemo list next time and see what I can come up with. I'm actually kind of starting to like the guy. I've killed you should see the pile of dead pigs up at the top above the corner there. I've killed a ton of pigs. It would be probably wise to invest in pork bellies because they're going to be scarce next year in Pigland. Although they're going to have a Nemo's head on a pike somewhere to show off for their sacrifice. Nemo moves around, energizes, casts a couple spells, kills a couple of pigs. That's about it. The Black 13th, they're going to kill a couple more. Wyshnalyrr, who is still alive, I don't know how. It's going to kill something. Journeyman goes in and does a beating on a pig. Boost hit, boost damage. Oh no, I just boosted the hit, didn't boost the damage. Cast Arcane Shield on himself. Why not? Black 13th's moving up, doing their thing. That one's just going to stay there. So kill that guy. It's the last pig on the top. They have done their job. Shoot another pig over here. Kill him. And I'm out of time. Go shoot the pig that's over there by Wyshnalyrr, which happens to be, what's his name? Midas. And I'm out. Well, it was a very enjoyable match. Gaston's always fun to play. And I do like bacon, so I got that going for me. See you guys next time.
So with 4 control points, there's not a whole lot left on the table, and not a whole lot left for me to do. We have the Bone Grinders move up. They're going to go ahead with the Lightning Strike thing again. Midas is going to curse Wyshnalyrr, kill him, stop the contesting, and then bounce back onto the flag. And that'll be 6 points in scenario.